When we turn 50, we start getting those flyers through the post for finance planning and retirement and face creams, anti-aging. We also get them on our social media, don't we? We're being targeted because everybody knows everything about you now, and they just know when you turn 50. I got one for a retirement home when I turned 50. I was not impressed. But no one tells you about the strange, beautiful, sometimes terrifying change that occurs at the same time. And there is one specific shift that changes everything. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. So do tell me, what did you receive when you turned 50? What did you receive when you turned 60? How were you targeted by advertisers? And did it fit with how you felt and how you want to live your life now? I suspect not. Tell me in the comments. The thing is, most women live their lives for 50 years looking after other people. If you've got children, it's obvious you're looking after small children, you're bringing them up. And in those early years, you're completely subsumed by it. There is no room for you. And then you get to the point as they start school and so on, where you start to think, hang on a minute, I can't remember who I am. I can't remember what I like because I've been listening to nursery rhymes on the radio in the car for too long, and I've been watching Bluey on the telly. I don't know what I like anymore. Music's moved on. TV programs have moved on. And I've just been subsumed by this caring role. If you haven't got children, you've been looking after people at work. Because that's what we're conditioned to do, isn't it? We never go into work and into our careers and just do it for ourselves. We think we are, but we've been conditioned to be amenable, to make things comfortable for other people. You might not agree with me. By all means, tell me in the comments what you think if your experience is different. But in my experience and the women that I speak to, you realise that actually you've not pushed yourself forward as maybe you would have liked to have done. Or maybe you've just been a little bit quieter than you would have liked to have been. I mean, who hasn't been in a meeting at work and put a really good idea forward only to be ignored? And then for a man to put that idea forward a little bit later on in the meeting and everybody go, oh, what a fantastic idea. It's infuriating and it's endemic. And it's something that we just seem to accept as our lot. I really hope that things are changing with the younger generations now, and that women are being raised to push themselves forward and to take space in the room, as we always deserve to. And if you've had the career and you've had the children, my goodness, where was the time for you? Where was the time for your relationship? Because that's another thing, isn't it? What happened to you and me, as in you and your other half, as opposed to mum and dad? Nobody tells us about this as we're growing up. When I first started my family, my grandmother tried to tell me, don't have too many children, Jo, you won't have a life. But I was all caught up with the romantic idea of being a mother and creating a family. And I spent my whole of my 20s pregnant or breastfeeding, and the whole of my 30s child rearing. And by the time I got into my 40s and I was juggling teenagers, not literally, obviously don't report me, by the time I got into my 40s and had teenagers, I was starting to slide in towards perimenopause. And then you've got the tumult of that for a good sort of 6 or 7 years, unless you're one of the lucky 25% that don't have any symptoms and don't notice they're going through perimenopause. That wasn't me, unfortunately. So you hit 50 and you turn around and you think, well, where did the years go? Where did I go? But you see, this is the thing. This is what nobody tells us, and that's so surprising, is we suddenly become free. Yes, we might still be working. Yes, we're still important in our families' lives. But we start to get the space to find ourselves again. For 50 years, our value has come from what we can do for others, whether we've realised it or not. Your value was defined by how well you perform your roles. Are you a good mother? Are you a good employee? Are you productive? Are you a good wife? Are you a supportive partner? Are you a good citizen? We find ourselves constantly looking outside ourselves for validation and grade. Oh, I get an A in being a good mum. I didn't, but you might have done. But it matters to us what other people think. The shift I want to talk to you about is when those yardsticks, those external yardsticks are all gone, and you finally have the permission, the space to be the star in your own life, to step into that spotlight and take a starring role in your own life. Which, when you say it, we should have been doing that all along. But we were other-referenced, externally referenced. We become self-referenced as we go into our 50s, 60s and beyond. And it's a game changer. For 50 years, you've been a performer, performing roles. But at this stage, the performance ends. Presence begins. You stop asking, am I enough for them? And you start asking, is this life that I have created enough for me? We tend to focus too much, in my opinion, on the losses that we experience during our 50s. The loss of hormones, the loss of your role as a hands-on mother as your children leave home, maybe a loss of a job, very often a loss of a relationship. Nobody really talks much about what we gain. And this is where I want us all to focus going forward. You're going to go into your 60s and the world will open up. And yes, I know that some of you have caring roles still. Some of you are caring for parents. Some of you are still not able to concentrate on yourselves, but you can start to self-validate. Ask yourself, is this how I want to do things? Rather than, am I doing this right? I hope that's helpful. I think we need to talk more about positive things about growing older, because there is good news. As you'll have seen in my book, Aging Wonderfully Well, the good news about midlife and growing older. This is just one of those good things. It's a shift that matters, and the shift that takes us through the rest of our lives. Bye for now.